Hello and welcome to Blitz Album Party. Our streams are back. We are in a new little studio here. I've got a new little setup, and yeah, I'm really excited to be back, and hopefully we're going to get some challenges soon. But I'm just going to warm up a little bit with some 3-0 Blitz. But yeah, please do challenge me as we go. Okay, so I've got a little Panov Botvinnik here against an FM. Who is this guy? From Slovenia. I liked Slovenia. I went there in 2009, I think. Yeah, Slovenia and Croatia. And there was this is one of my favourite stories ever, actually. There was a British diplomat who was on the table next to us at the pizza place we were at, who heard our voices, heard that we were British, and basically said to us, look, I've been in lots of meetings all week, haven't spoken to anyone really, like properly, because I think his Slovenian was good but it wasn't amazing, and said to us, yeah, we've got could I join you? I'll buy you dinner. So we got bought very nice pizza on the riverfront in Ljubljana on the Slovenian government's credit card by some British diplomat, which was fun. But yeah, Slovenia is lovely. Who is this guy? Cyber Lion. It's quite a nice name. It does sound like some kind of Trojan horse virus, though. A Cyber Lion. Right, what's going on here? Got 2 bishops against 2 knights. This should be quite good, in theory. But he does have the A file. I can take it back here with rook A8. Whether it actually does anything. Is there a big threat of that rook coming down anytime soon? Probably not. But it does beg the question what I do instead. I can't really move this bishop on e8 because otherwise that pawn on b5 is starting to feel a bit loose. Okay, we'll do this. Not convinced. Not convinced at all. But we will see. Anyway, we're here to listen to some music as well. I'm delighted we've got Maybe She Will on. One of my favourite bands, and hopefully you will enjoy what they've got to offer as well. It's the same kind of thing. If you've watched one of the Blitz album parties before, we tend to avoid music that's got lyrics that just gets in the way of me talking. That might not be the best thing actually if that happened, but anyway. Yeah, these nights are quite good, aren't they? And also a minute down on the clock, which is not ideal. Fuck. Just realised none of you have actually been able to see that game, have you? Never mind. Right. I've just been talking nonsense at you for the last minute. It's good to start properly, innit? How do I do this? Okay, here we go. Right, we've got Mr. Reese. Okay, let's go. So Reese of Reese Pieces fame is here. Let's lock those in place. Sorry for the amateur start there. I will get back in the groove, I'm sure. Okay, this seems like a very cowardly opening to play against Reese, but he's quite a good player. Right. So Reese of Reese's Pieces fame. I'm just obsessed with the caro, yeah. Reese is asking in the chat there. Absolutely obsessed with the carrow. But also, that was definitely a mouse slip. Did mean to take with the pawn. Right. Please do queue the challenges up as well. I'll be favouring people who haven't challenged me yet on any stream, and then people who haven't played me again this evening, and then ones where, if we are really desperate, I will repeat. Anyway, maybe she will. When did I last see them? I must have seen them in, I think they possibly even split up now, but they were a very, very good live band for a number of years. Used to play venues like Coco and Shacklewell Arms in London, if you're familiar with those places. Anyway, this episode of the Chess Pit that's out this evening, or I think it's going to be out, I'm going to put out at 1 AM tonight, British time, so that should come out over your breakfast tomorrow if you're in England, or if you're America, that should come out 8 PM East Coast, 5 PM West Coast. Reese, is that knight coming in somewhere nasty? Am I getting knight takes f7? I hope not. What are we playing? 3+2, so I've actually got an increment here. Oh, we can do this, can we? Okay. Castles? Or should I take the bishop take the knight with the bishop instead? I think both are possible. Yeah, let's take this guy. And if bishop takes, I guess I go queen a5. So yeah, if pawn takes, what now? g6, 10, yeah, this is problematic, isn't it? Yeah, I'm clinging. I'm already clinging on here. But yeah, episode 35 is out tonight, and we talk a bit about adult improvement. It's a subject it's always going to be a thing. It's what most of our listenership are about. They are, because we are a family show, but I think it's fair to say that most of our audience are amateur chess players, including Mr. Reese here, who, while he is an FM, has improved very quickly, a lot in a short amount of time. Okay, so if I... Oh, king f1. Wow. Was that a mouse slip? What's the idea of king f1? Alright, I'll continue with my plan of just trying to extricate my pieces, but now I've got the g file possibly to use. Or maybe I don't. The queen's got to go somewhere, doesn't it? a3? This is annoying. Yeah, now I can't castle. Having said that, oh, Reese is really going for the kill hit. Oh dear. Nevertheless, maybe we can cling on for a little while here, at least. That bishop on d7 is just such trash. And Reese hasn't got an enormous amount of time left, has he? Please keep queuing up these challenges. I will be entertaining the next lot very shortly, hopefully. Yeah, I'm just never going to be able to castle, am I? Well, maybe. Go this way. And try and hide my king on d7. Is that completely ludicrous? Might be completely ludicrous, but I'm going to try it. Just put every single piece on a light square. Oh, we've run out of time. That's unfortunate. Okay, never mind. Who have we got? Black Salt. Hello. Don't think we've played before. Right. Okay. So we're going to have another carrot card. Again, please queue up these challenges. I want to see you chatting to us as well. Get involved in the chat room. Ask me questions. Tell me things about yourself. Introduce yourself. Or just sit back and enjoy a fine album. This has gone badly, hasn't it? What have I done here? Alright. Where's my bishop end up here? Maybe it just doesn't. Anyway, what was I saying? Adult improvement stuff on the podcast this week. It's going to be out 1 AM. What else? I can't remember. It's alright, I only edited it about an hour ago. It's like when I score a cricket match. Quite often, I can't remember the score, which is exactly what I'm there to do, but it's just the level of the data. What else did we talk about? We talked about various things. It's a really good advert for it, isn't it? And this is a terrible advert for my play. Am I just losing a piece? Just losing a piece, aren't I? Oh dear. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I've got knight takes e5 and then knight f3 check. Possibly. Maybe I just about get away with this. But this was not, by any stretch of the imagination, deliberate. Yeah, now I think I'm okay. I'm a pawn up. And I've got this. And my bishop can hide on e4. Ooh. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Right. I mean, you could have a rematch if you want, because you didn't have a very big... Yeah, let's have another game, because that didn't last that long. Mr. Black Salt. Mr. Sweden. Okay. I think I've got my boring system against this, which is bishop c4. And then queen f3. And then queen takes. Right. So this is the idea there. If knight came to a4, then bishop takes f7 is mate after king d7, queen d5. Right, what next? Because I don't particularly want to get skewered, pinned down the diagonal towards my king, so I get castled fairly quickly, I guess. But I don't know where my knight belongs. Let's pretend it belongs here for now. And then comes it. Alrighty, this is okay, I think. My bishop belongs on b3 anyway. My queen's a bit weird, but in fact it's very weird. I think when your queen is at the forefront of your army, you need to be very, very careful it doesn't just get trapped there. So I'm going to give it some air. I mean, this is a very quiet system. Did I just miss a mate? Oh, okay, fair enough. Was he playing on? I think we both pre-moved, didn't we? Let's have a look at this. Did we both pre-move? Was this the problem? We both pre-moved. So there's a mate there as well. Okay, never mind. This is the quality of the chess you will see on the streams. Not very high. Right, I'm going to try and do something silly here. Hello to Matt Fletcher on our stats man. So yeah, I'm threatening bishop takes g7, mate. Instead, Matthew, I'm an artist, not a butcher. I also pre-move when I shouldn't. You know this. Can we not load up completely on the g7 square now? This looks horrible. What does black do against this? Because all their pieces are on the queen side. Queen takes knight, then bishop takes g7 is mate. Rook g8, then I might just take it. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, right, Matt, let's play you. Haven't played you in, I don't think, have we? Have I ever played you in one of our Blitz Cyber parties, Mr. Fletcher? Come on, show me what you got. Next challenger, please. Otherwise, I'll be forced to go into the 3-0 pool. No one needs that in their life. Who have we got? Don't know who this is. Shawnee83. Hello, Shawnee83. Right. Got French. As ever, we will continue with the stream until the album ends. So we've got about another 20 minutes, I reckon. 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes of this album. And please, also in the chat, if you wish to recommend an album that you think would be good for a stream, please do recommend that as well. I'm very happy always to take suggestions for music. Please queue up these challenges, keep them coming. Right, what's going on in the chess world at the moment? We've got, is anyone, one thing we do talk on the podcast at the moment a bit is the sort of oversaturation of these tournaments that only seem to feature the same players week in, week out. And I think they've missed a trick, especially with the legends of chess, because half of those players are still active. And I think they could have got in, not necessarily the really old guys, but just people like even Polgar or Blast from the past. I mean, Gatakamsky has proven on his Banter Blitz that he's not necessarily the most sportsmanlike online player. But people like this, maybe from the 90s, 80s and 90s, who can still do a job. Your John Spielmans, these kind of guys who would be entertaining as well as sufficiently legendary to have competed in that tournament. But it's good to see that there are some live events still happening in the world. The Czech Open is happening right now, featuring a friend of the podcast, Keith Arkle. He is doing quite well. I think he won his first 2 games in the Grandmaster group. And obviously the Bundesliga happened over the weekend, which is good. But there's, for those of you who are unaware of the, not living in Britain and unaware of the situation here, yeah, we're not going to get any over the board chess for probably months yet, unfortunately. So you're stuck with me for a little while yet. Right, what do I do here? I've got 3 pieces that can take on e2, and I can also take the knight on c6. Takes the knight, bishop takes queen. Knight takes. Not sure. This knight on c3 is just biting on granite at the moment, so I guess we try and redevelop that somewhere. Redeployment. Yeah, keep queuing these challenges. Who have we got next? We've got. We have got Mr. Fletcher, so I'm not sure who this is. But please do say hello in the Twitch chat. I think I might. Well, okay, right. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was expecting Queen Actually, there was no other move. You can't play queen d7 and queen d6 either. Do I take with the pawn or do I take with the bishop? I think we take with the pawn because I quite like the look of this d4 square for a knight. And I'm not overly fussed. Or am I? I think that knight just comes to... no, this isn't good, is it? I can't allow bishop h4. Maybe I can. Let's try it. Let's try it. So yeah, my knight is hopefully going to come to d4, and then from there, yeah, this is the issue, isn't it? It's just got c5. This is less than ideal. Alright, we'll kick this guy. I know you shouldn't open up the dark squares towards the king, but I don't see what else I can do here. Apart from... I'm just not thrilled with the idea of it. Of trapping that knight. It's one of those positions where you probably just do it anyway, but... because of the material, but... kind of you come at it from a position where you're... I think it's always much more pleasing to have it where you're playing quite within yourself rather than inviting the possibility of a third result, as Ralston would say. Yeah, knight g5 and then pawn takes. Actually, that knight's got a nice home on e6, doesn't it? That's probably not gonna work. Anyway, yeah, so what now? Play this way. Let's need some activity. I don't really care about the pawns on the queen side, I just need to get something going in the centre. That's where I've got things happening. Got this 4 versus 3. We mentioned Mr. Arkle earlier. This is a key feature, this kind of 4 versus 3 majority on the king side here. This is a key feature of Keith Arkle's new book, Arkle's Endings, where he talks about this thing where he really likes having this 4 versus 3 majority on the king side because it really helps him to open up the game in his favour. Generally, this position's still got some life in it, though, doesn't it? I think that probably helps me just getting the king slightly safer, and also comes up for the ending. But yeah, this a pawn might be tricky. I need to get my knight across fairly soon as well. I think that's quite a nice square for the knight. That's a nice double attack there, so I should win back. Not win back, but win one of those pawns. With hope. What are we even playing? 5-0? 5-0, so yeah, white black's in a bit of time pressure as well. We have 3 more songs on this record. I think what we'll do is we'll do one of these Blitz album parties every Wednesday at this time, and depending on my schedule we'll try and shoehorn in some others as the weeks go on. Everything we've done so far can be found on our YouTube channel, and yeah, we've had some very varied streams on there, lots of simultaneous exhibitions. And I've done some instructional streams, from coaching streams with John McKenzie of the podcast as well. And yeah, I think objectively this position can't be very good for me long term, but this should be absolutely fine with the time on the board, on the clock. Right, thank you for the game. Right, let's play Mr. Fletcher. He's been waiting patiently. We've got a Another 5-minute game. So this, let's look at the time. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the last one, but we'll queue up a challenge anyway, and we'll see. I might be able to do a bonus one. Okay, let's see what Mr. Fletcher has in his locker. There's Haldane hack. So Queen H5 here is named after Robin Haldane. It's the Haldane hack. The idea is to just take black completely out of their Frenchy comfort zone and to have some fun, because the French generally, I find, is only fun for black. Though, having said that, I've been watching a little bit of the computer stuff, and the way that computers just destroy the French has been extremely humbling. Yeah, Mr. Fletcher, you must have seen this before. Matthew, this is you are a club player. Someone must have played Queen H5 against you. Okay, so yes, C5 is correct. Anyway, one of this, we got Simmels and Blitz album parties and instructional coaching streams that are on our YouTube channel. Also, I'm sure there are others. Oh yeah, we've got some. We did one before I went on the summer hiatus, where we did on the podcast. We talk a lot about, we invent a lot of new variants that inevitably get stolen by the pros. There was one the other week that I think Chess24 called Torpedo, that we called En Passant d'Avignon way back in would have been March. And yeah, so we did a nice little, we tried one where we called it 20 to 60 or 10 to 40, where you have a predetermined maximum number of moves that a game can last, which is quite entertaining. So and the position at when the guillotine is, say, 23, 24 moves or 40 or whatever, it's a random number. The computer evaluation at that point, even if it's 0.01 in your favour, that counts as a win. So we had one of those, which was quite entertaining back in July. But yeah, we're going to try, and we've got such a big queue of these variants to try out. I think we also have one in this week's episode. This hasn't gone brilliantly for Mr. Fletcher, but those pawns are fractured. He's a pawn down. Queens are off, so I shouldn't be in too much danger. Okay, but what now? How do I sort all of this stuff out on my queen side without losing any material? Suppose we get castled, or at the very least get the king out of the way. Should we shove it on e2? I think this is... Oh, I missed that check. Alright, we'll keep rolling up the board, I guess. I'm putting myself in a fair bit of danger here. It's such a... I haven't done this, so playing and commentating, for 2 months now, nearly. It's a big challenge. You should try it. My chess gets very bad when I'm doing it, but that's half the fun of this. It's half the handicap. It's like a little steeplechase. Okay, I really need to get these pieces out of my guts. This is not so easy. So my current opponent, Matt, is he's got the same username on Twitter. So if you are of the tweeting persuasion, you should get on there and follow him. He is about as close to big chess Twitter as you can come. He is one of the chess punks. very enjoyable stream of flow of information coming through there. And yeah, if you like what you see tonight, please do follow us. We're up there somewhere. Chessbit Pod on Twitter. These exchanges must favour me, surely. And then we can make the most of our 4 versus 3 on the king side, hopefully. C2's dropping. That's a pain. Oh dear. Okay. So I don't think I've got much choice but to start pawn grabbing. Whoops. Where do I want my rook? A2. Yeah, A2 feels like a better fit. I'm going to play B4. If the rook comes to B3, then I'm not really sure what it's doing there. So now B4 and still a pawn up? Yeah. Okay. I think things are settling down a bit, but maybe not. Maybe I'm not doing well at all, actually. This is tricky. Yeah, fair enough. I think I've probably got to get rid of these rooks. And now's the correct moment to take on A7, I think. I'm not sure I've ever played Matt, either over the board or online before. I think this is actually our first ever game, which is always nice. Always nice to get new opponents on here. King takes just feels very strange, but I think it's probably the only move. Knight h4 again. We're going to go through this rigmarole, are we, of just knight h4, rook g1 every time. And then what? Just chuck my a pawn up the board and hope it gets to the end eventually. There is no increment, so I am miles ahead on the clock, so I've got time just to poodle about here, I think. Yeah, this would be enough. You think? And then we exchange the knights, do we? Maybe not. And then, yeah. Right, okay. Thank you very much. Any last requests? I think we've got time, possibly got time for one more. If anybody challenges me in the next 10-15 seconds. Otherwise, we'll call it a night. It's been lovely to return to these streams. And as I said, we will release a full schedule soon and we'll try and get back on it. It's just a case of... And hopefully you've also seen the difference in the quality of the video. We're up to 60 frames a second. It's good. Right, we'll call it a night there. Thank you very much for watching. If you wish to listen to the podcast, we are available on every Palclass platform you can think of. We've even just gone on Amazon Music. And yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Chesspit Pod on pretty much every social network. And these streams will always be uploaded to YouTube afterwards. So for now, my name's Phil Makepeace. This has been a Blitz album party. That's been Maybe She Will, and we'll see you again soon.